Resistance is futile.
Hey, everybody. Steve here. How's it going? Yeah, it's my birthday. Yep. I turned the big old 5-4 this year. They say don't say it in years, say it in like level. So I'm level 54. I've gained another level. Hopefully by the time I get to level 60, I'll be able to not have to do manual labor. Who knows? Let's see, we got nobody in the comments. And it looks like over there in our little screen counter, I got nobody watching. So I'm glad the advertising worked. I'm glad putting stuff out on X, for people to know, hey, something's coming up. January 21st, 1 o'clock. Be there. I got a lot of thumbs up. Got a lot of yays. And I got, anyway, it's me shouting into the void with nobody to listen. So yeah, I had having a good birthday so far. I had some birthday money come my way in the form of a gift certificate to my local comic book store. Yeah. So the Super Galactic Games and Comics. It's my local comic book store, and they open at 10. I was there at 10:15 with my leaving around my gift card, letting them know that I was going to be purchasing comic books. I bought some comic books. Let me tell you. Let me show you what I got. I have Darkman, issues 1 through 5. I don't know if there's any more to this. I haven't read any of these yet. I'm really interested to see what's happening. I have, if anyone's heard of Remo Williams, the Destroyer series, a series of books. It's got 150 books in that series. The guys who write those books are my spirit animals. I want to be just like them. I want to write 150 books. I've only written 4 so far, but I got the Destroyer #1 from Marvel. I have purchased quite a bit of Sleepwalker and Incredible Hulk. I had a video coming out tomorrow. If you're watching today, if you're watching on playback, if you're watching on demand, the video might be out already. But I talk about talking comic books, and Sleepwalker and the Hulk play a big part of that next video. So check them out. Check out the video if this is on a replay. If you're watching live, although it looks like no one's watching live right now, it's out tomorrow. So yeah, I guess I can just talk about anything I want. Yeah, this is nice. I just blabbing into the void. So how did this all come about? Why did I even start the Nerd Way? Well, I'm a writer. I've written 4 superhero fiction books because I saw comic books going the way of DEI, and they disgusted me. It was disgusting to see what Marvel and DC were doing to comic books, doing to their characters. turn Robin gay. They just, and if they can get a hold of a character and turn them gay, turn Iceman gay, they did it. And their explanation was, no, he's not gay. He's bisexual. Well, no, he's never going back. They're never going back to dating women. They're dating men, because we let all these morons, all these diversity hires into the comic book world. We should have gate kept better. We need gatekeepers. They're not as bad as everybody says. Gatekeepers are good. And if we had a little bit more, then maybe we wouldn't be in this mess. But I digress. I've always wanted to write for comic books, at least back when I was in my 20s. I thought that would be a great job to have. And I actually had this fantastic idea just hit me right out of the blue, like the lightning bolt. I was walking out of my local comic book shop. It's called the Comic Book Store in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, when I lived up in PA. I was walking out. I think I was with a friend of mine, and I just got hit with this idea, and it was exciting. And I ran home and I wrote it all down, or at least I wrote, the plot of the idea. But I can't draw. I can draw stick figures. And this was way before the internet. So trying to find somebody to do artwork was near impossible. So I just held on to the idea. Now, if you have an idea for something, don't act on it right away. Just store it in the back of your brain. Because if you come back to that thing a week later, a month later, a year later, if you haven't acted upon it yet, and it's still as fresh and it's still as exciting to you, that's a good idea. Do it. I held on to the idea for like 20 years. 20 years I held on to that idea. And I finally got around to doing something about it. I was dealing with some depression and anxiety. And my wife and I and my very young daughter at the time went to a local comic book convention. It was held at a firehouse. Tells you how small it was. And I ran into a guy who had a booth, and he was doing what I wanted to do. He was, although he can draw. His name's Rusty. And he gave me the idea to do a pulp style magazines type thing with my story. He said, find someone to just do some black and white, some drawings, just some real basic drawings, scatter them throughout the book, and just write chapters. And I told my wife that, and she said, well, if you're going to write it in chapters, why don't you just write the whole thing like a book? If you're going to do it like that, because it's not going to be a comic book. It's just, you're going to write almost like a book. Just write like a book. So I kept that idea in my head for a while, until one day I was having some anxiety. Was hitting hard, and I was trying to deal with it. And I was online, and I saw somewhere where they said the best way to deal with anxiety and depression is to write stuff down. Now, I wasn't sure if they were talking about writing what I feel down or writing anything. I took it as write anything. So with a 25-year-old story bouncing around my head that was still as fresh as the day hit me from above, I grabbed my laptop, went downstairs to our kitchen table, opened up the laptop and started typing. And I think I got through the first 3 chapters. They looked terrible. I'd forgotten every lesson in typing class. I didn't have paragraphs. It was just text. Terrible. Luckily, I went back and did a little more research on YouTube, and all right, this is how you make, okay, paragraphs and things. I had to reacquaint myself with a bunch of stuff. So that's what I did. And about a year or so later, my first book came out. It was Deadlock. Deadlock, right behind me. That's not the book. It's a little promotional poster thing I use. And then 2 more books followed, Fallout and Shattered. And they are available on Amazon. As a matter of fact, if I'm going to talk about this, maybe we need something like this. Yep, doing some shilling. So back to why I started the YouTube channel. I was a writer. I'm a writer, and I had written my first book. I had written Deadlock, and I heard somewhere that YouTube is the second most searched, used thing for it's only second to Google in search stuff. So I thought, well, I want people to find me. I want people to find my book. I want people to know who I am. So I figured I started a YouTube channel because 2 people. I was watching YouTube and hold on, let me make sure I get these names right, because it's important. It's important you do the right thing. You want to make sure you want to give credit where credit is due. Maybe it's not here. Yeah, there's no one here yet. We can talk. We can just stall for as long as we want. Cool. No one's here. Nothing in the comments. There's no eyeballs on me yet. So we're about 13 minutes in, and I'm just talking to myself. I'll get there in a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Yes. 2 YouTube channels I was watching at the time said, start a YouTube channel. Just go ahead and start a YouTube channel. They were, I can't believe I just forgot the name of the one thing again. Think Media. Oh, I had an eyeball on me, and they disappeared. Think Media is one of them, and Nerdrotic was the other. They both said, start a YouTube channel. Just start a YouTube channel. We need more voices. So I thought, I will absolutely add my voice to the billions of voices on YouTube, because everybody wants to hear from a then 50-something, late 40, early 50-something guy talking nerd stuff. Well, you do. I was around when all the good nerd stuff was happening in the 80s and in the 90s. I was there when Dungeons and Dragons came out, and I played Dungeons and Dragons in its original true form. Loved it. I remember when Pac-Man came out. I loved going to my next door neighbor's house, and he and I would sit there and play on his Atari 2600. Yeah, that's how old I am. I tell kids to get off my grass now. Although those kids are my daughter and her friends, so they never listen to me. So yeah, that's kind of sort of the basic story of why I started my YouTube channel. So there it is. The why the Nerd Way is here story. The origin story of the Nerd Way. Because I need to shill my books. And you guys will love them. I mean, if you take Jack Reacher and you give him superpowers, you get Eddie Solomon. That is my main character from my book. It's great. It's great. See. So, what else is going on? Well, I'm writing. Lost them. Dang it. Someone popped in and saw me just sipping liberal tears, and they just noped right out. I'm writing my fourth book. I'm writing my fourth novel. It's going to be fun. Got to be something to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? If there was comments here, if there are people actually commenting, I'd be playing off you guys. I'd be talking, be chatting. It's sad. This is what it's like when you have no friends. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about me. Boo-doo. I was looking at I was watching some other YouTube videos today. Shane Davis has a YouTube channel. Talking and Drawing with Shane Davis. And he's talking about how comic books are dwindling. Sales for the floppies are going down the tubes. Comic book stores are closing, but bookstores are on the rise. And when you do look at the comic book area, any Western comic, Marvel, DC, Image, whatever, on the decline, and you're getting a lot of manga. Now, back in the early 80s, I read some manga. A friend of mine was sharing his comics with me. They're Xenon. Xenon Heavy Metal Warrior. And they were pretty cool. Back in the 80s. Anymore, it looks like manga is just, something for like the 8 to 12-year-olds. Nothing that anybody my age, our age, if you're close to me, wants to read. You want to read a book, you want to read a comic book with action and adventure. You want a good, solid hero. You want a villain that is going to push your hero to their limits. That's Deadlock. That's the EVOREALM series. That's what I call my books, the EVOREALM series. I made this for Christmas. I was hoping to sell some of these for Christmas. Just take a look at this.
Get your friends what they really want this year. An EVOREALM action pack. Don't delay. Get one today.
When I made that little commercial last time I was live, I had 5 packs of books. It comes with 4 books. I put all 4 of my books in there. plus a lot of little extra tchotchkes. And I had 5 packs. I now have 5 packs. So you can see how many people took me up on my offer. It's about as many people are watching this live stream right now. 0. This might be one of those things where I don't know, I might nuke it later. If you're watching this in the future, I decided to save it. If you're not watching it, well, that's kind of dumb. If you're not watching it, then you're not listening to me. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I had one person come in and out, then I had another person come in and out. Stuck around for a whole 10 seconds because they just happened to catch me at my one more talk bone there face. And live stream really is a whole lot of just back and forth. I mean, I guess I could do radio stuff. I can just be like a radio guy and, hey, what's going on today in the world of radio? I used to think I wanted to be a radio disc jockey, but didn't really feel like a real job to me back then. I needed a real job, something I can get my hands on. But here I am. I am trying to make this, and more importantly, my writing, my real job. I want to be a writer. I want to be a full-time writer, not just a guy who writes books and then has to go to his 9 to 5 and find time, nights, weekends to write, to get a book out. But unfortunately, that's what I got right now. I mean, it is an uphill battle. People aren't reading like they used to anymore. Whether it's, well, I know why. It's because of this. It's YouTube. People find watching YouTube, watching streaming services, playing video games, any way they can get their entertainment easily, they want to go for. Reading takes a little bit more thought process. You actually have to sit down and you have to kind of shut everything else out, open up your book and read and invest time into a book. Now, my books, easy reads. I made them that way. I wanted to make quick, easy reads. Yes, they're novels. Depending on who you ask, they're probably at the very low end of what people would consider a novel, but they're a novel nonetheless. I am a novelist. Yeah, people don't read anymore because they can just watch people like me, blabber on and on and on. They have all kinds of streaming opportunities. They can just sit down and veg out in front of the TV. They can turn on a video game and just play a video game and escape into that world if that scratches their itch. So trying to get guys to read, especially, is tough. You see all these books out. I don't know if any of you guys are into the whole booktube, book talk thing, but you go to I was at Target last month for Christmas, doing some Christmas shopping, and they have their tiny little book section. And the one wall was TikTok books. Every single TikTok book on that shelf was a garbage book written by women for women. Not a book in sight that had any kind of testosterone in it. Not one. In fact, if I would have touched one of those books, I probably would have had all my testosterone sucked out of me. So I'm glad I didn't touch those books. But yeah, trying to get people to read anymore is really tough. I'm trying to crack the code. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to get more men to read. Oh, well, I had someone else popped in and popped right out. I'm trying to crack the code, see how many more. I'm trying to get more men to read. Men are not reading near enough books. I got 3 books now. I'm reading 3 books at a time right now. I'm reading a Batman book. I'm reading the second book in the Thrawn trilogy, and I'm reading a Jimmy Buffett, Where is Joe Merchant? And I have books behind me, and I ordered 3 books, and they should be in the mail today. I ordered 3 Star Trek books that I used to have, and I gave them away. I donated them to the library. Just because that's what I did when I was living up in PA. Before I got married, I was living in a very small place. Didn't have a whole lot of room, and I had a very small bookshelf. So when that bookshelf got overrun by a lot of books, I didn't even think to pack them away and maybe save them. My first thought, pack them up, take them to the library and donate them so more people can read these books. I mean, it's not a bad thing to do. It's noble. I'm donating my books to the library so you guys can read. All right. According to my app, my books are not been delivered yet, but they're on the way. My app says they should be here before 8 o'clock. Yeah, I ordered 3 Star Trek books. I love the Star Trek books that came out after the Next Generation movies, because they took the Next Generation, the DS9, even Voyager, and they took those characters and they just brought them along and they expanded on their stories in the novels, a lot like the expanded universe with Star Wars. And I really appreciate those books. And I can't wait to get these new books in from the mail because I'm chomping at the bit to read those. So I got to finish the 3 books I'm reading now to get to these books. Talking a lot about reading. Reading is fundamental. Matter of fact, you know who else likes to read? Our new president. Matter of fact, months ago, he did something special for me. Here, check this out.
Steve is making superheroes great again.
That is a real non-announcement. I got that. I got that in my Hey, Alan. Good to see you. Thank you. I know, right? It was quite the coup to get him to hold my book up in front of all those people and let people know I'm making superheroes great again. But hey, he knows quality reading, so I got that going for me, which is nice. Thank you for stopping by. If you missed the beginning, I was showing off my my comic books. I went to the comic book store and I did some comic book shopping for my birthday. Got a bunch of Incredible Hulk. I got showing off my comics again. Great movie, great comic, Dark Man. Don't worry about being late. I took the first half hour and just shouted out into the void. It was good. Got a lot of stuff off my chest. You can rewatch it later. No worries. But yeah, it's it was fun. I'm having a good day today. Unfortunately, where I'm living, we're going to get snow. Normally, we don't get snow, but we are going to be blessed with 3 to 6 inches of snow starting sometime this evening into tomorrow morning. And my daughter is loving it. Yes, Darkman. Check it out. It's poop. I can't believe I forget. Hold on, I gotta find something out here. I'm having a senior moment. You turn 54, and all of a sudden your brain just turns to mush. It's almost like I'm turning into Biden or something. I got the brain worms going. Yes, Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi wanted to do a superhero movie. He wanted to do something like he wanted to do The Shadow, I think, or something like that, and he couldn't get the rights. So he created his own superhero, Darkman. Liam Neeson plays the title role. Great movie. It's super schlocky. I love it. I don't own the DVD. I don't know why I don't own the DVD. I should, but if I ever see it on TV, if it's ever just showing up somewhere, I will absolutely watch it. It's a great flick. It's actiony. It's bloody hell. There's lots of gore. It's everything you want in a good slobber knocker type of a superhero movie. Darkman, excellent. I was talking earlier about reading, trying to get more people to read, especially men, because guys don't read anymore. I know I do. Like I said, I got bookshelves behind me of books. I got a bookshelf in my living room full of books. I'm trying to figure out why or how I can get more people to read books. If I can figure that out, yes. Neon TARDIS in the house. See, I don't. He thinks I'm 20. I'm 20. A few times over, but hey, I like to think of myself as this is like I'm in my A3 generation. I got like 5 or 6 more generations to go before the end. Well, I'm glad you did pop in. I know we have something planned for later down the road in a day or two. Looking forward to that. Not giving anything away, but looking forward to jumping on your channel and helping you out with your thing. That'll be fun. Yeah, we gotta get more. I'm harping on this reading thing. I know. I'm a writer. What do you expect? If I was someone like, if like doing comic books, and I'd be pushing people should be reading more comic books these days. But I'm pushing books because I'm a book pusher. And my throat gets sore. So, Steve, what have you been reading lately? Have you got a pull list you've been picking up? For comics, I'm not reading anything current. The comic book store I go to sells nothing but back issues. And that's all I'm buying these days. Just finding back issues to fill holes in my collection. Books, I'm reading a Batman book. I'm reading the second book in the Thrawn trilogy. And I'm reading Where is Joe Merchant from Jimmy Buffett. Did I get a nice present? Yes. I got a gift card to my comic book store. That's where all these comic books came from. Did a bunch of comic book shopping this morning. It was wonderful. And what was even better, I went to the comic book store, and they were playing all these songs from the 80s. Just loving it. Filling holes in Batman. Yeah, Batman, there's not too many great modern stories. No, there's not. The writers these days, they don't really know how to tell good stories. They're telling, well, I don't even know what they're calling what they do these days, but they're not telling good stories. Even the new Absolute Batman. I read the first one. It was okay. It wasn't great. I read the second one. It was meh. I think I just kind of paged through the third one and I was done. I didn't really need to read any more of that. But you read these back issues and these stories from like the 80s and the 90s. These guys could tell a story. These guys are my inspirations. Well, I'm glad somebody does that. You know. Thank you, Tuna, for doing that job for us all, filling holes. I was not going to go there. I knew someone might go there. I wasn't going to do it. Yeah, the whole Absolute line for me too is just bad. I mean, the Wonder Woman, I read Ultimate Absolute Wonder Woman #1, and it was garbage. And the Superman book, terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying too hard these days to either make things edgy and dark, or they're trying to just put new spins on things. So when their characters end up going to the public domain, because Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are all heading for the public domain in the next 10 years. I think 2035 is 2034, somewhere around there. They're going to start going to the public domain, which means anybody can make a Batman comic or a Superman comic. So they're trying to get ahead of the curve and create new versions of them so they can have something to hang on to. Yes. You get the oh man, I can't believe another senior moment. Oh God. There is only neon. Yes. But the Nightfall. That's what I'm thinking of. Nightfall. That whole series. That was great. That was some of the best Batman around. And all the writers. You had like 3 different writers over 3 different books over, I don't know, I think it was a year long stretch of books. And Chuck Dixon was probably in my opinion, he did the best job in the Batman in the 90s. Bainstone, yeah. Yes, Nightfall. The Chuck Dixon, yeah. I'll get back to that. I met Chuck Dixon once when he and artist Tom Lyle were doing Robin #1. It was the first solo Tim Drake Robin series back in '91. He was at they were at my local comic book store signing autographs. And I don't remember much of a crowd at the time because I was in there, bought my comics. I bought that comic, and they were there just sitting at this table, just kind of just sitting there, waiting for people to show up. And I went over and I talked to them a little bit, and they each signed my book, and I still have that book. It's over there in my giant pile of long boxes. Yes, signed by both Chuck Dixon and Tom Lyle. They were very pleasant. They were very nice. I got to shake their hands. And then I found out later, Chuck Dixon was actually living in the same town I was, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I didn't find this out till like a couple years ago. So, but that was wild. The fact that he was living right in the same area as me. If I had known that, maybe I would have stalked him. I'd be like a little stalking guy. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. If Chuck Dixon ever watches this, I will never stalk you, sir. Do I have a favorite artist? I have many. Mike Zeck is an incredible talent. He did, if you've read Craven's Last Hunt, he did the artwork for that. And that is just excellent. That is just insanely awesome. John Byrne, I love his work. His art is fantastic. Jim Lee, the more current of the my favorites. Del Keown. Del Keown's another guy that, well, like I said, he's pressing buttons. He did a lot of these Incredible Hulks with Peter David as writer, and Rick Leonardi, another good artist. I'm not familiar with this person. I'll have to look him up to see what his covers look like. Yeah, I mean, but the art from like the 70s and the 80s and into the 90s, into the extreme 90s. I just love that art. It was cartoony, but technical. I mean, it had just the right balance. It wasn't way over the top like manga is, with the huge big eyes and everything. But it wasn't real dry either. It wasn't like dry. The art was incredible. Yeah, I think those are probably a few of my favorite artists. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch, but so yeah, I'm having this turned out to be a pretty good birthday. My wife made me a cake, so I'm going to have cake later. Always good to have cake. A nice spice cake with vanilla icing. And she's going to make me a nice birthday meal. She said, I can pick anything I want. Anything I want. And she'd make it for me. So I'm going to have it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to be married. Especially it's not a Brie Larson Cat Marvel cake. No. No, it's just a regular sheet cake, spice cake, vanilla icing. And before I eat that, my wife's going to make me sausage gravy and biscuits. Love them. The big thing. Oh, Neon TARDIS might not know what they are. But over here in the good old US of A, especially in the South, it's like a staple. People make it all the time, and I love it. It is the best, some of the best comfort food ever. And that's all I want. I want some nice comfort food for my birthday. I'm old. It's be easy to eat. easy to go down and you should get it in the UK. You'd love it. It's breakfast sausage, ground up breakfast sausage in a white sauce, over top biscuits. And it's, like I said, it's great comfort food. No, yeah, well, a biscuit to you is a cookie. A biscuit to me is a small loaf of bread type thing. Yes. If Doctor Who's taught me nothing, it has taught me that biscuits mean cookies. I have learned some things from watching Doctor Who. It's wonderful. Dumplings. See, we call dumplings something completely different here. Dumplings are more of a it's doughy, but it's very soft, doughy stuff that's kind of in soup. So I love this cultural exchange of cultural stuff. It's wonderful. I truly am a global sensation. The nerd way, going global. Reaching the masses. Yes. That's all right. No hard feelings. No hard feelings, guys. Well, yeah. Neon. So like I said, this was just kind of something I threw together. Something I just wanted to see how many people would hang out for my birthday. I got a couple people. Thank you guys for showing up. If you're looking for anything to read, check down in the description and you'll find all sorts of stuff. You can find my books for sale. I have a website that has all kinds of stuff that you can read. You can find me on X. That's me on X. At the Nerd Way. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna be popping on your site for something fun in another day or two. So we'll definitely have time to chat and yes, you can go down. Like I said, you can go down into the description and you'll see a link to Amazon where you can find my books. Or if you go to my webpage, StephenHutler.com, you can you'll find a link to you can just look for the EVOREALM bookstore, and that'll take you right over to a description of each book, and you can click on each one to get the individual books. Or if you go down to the bottom, that'll take you over to you can buy all the books, find all the books all at once. So if you, I mean, like I said, it's if you like Jack Reacher, if you read Jack Reacher or those tough guy thriller books where it's just guy moseys into town and finds something wrong and spends the whole book, beating up the bad guys and making the wrongs right. That's what I do. That's what my books are, just with superpowers. So I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. We've gone almost an hour now. It was nice just to have a time to chat and spend my birthday with some people. I have no friends here. You guys are my only friends. Yeah, everything down in the description. Find all the good links. Buy a book for yourself, buy a book for your friends. Please tell all your friends about it. Yes. So I want to thank Neon and Alan for being brave enough to show up and hang out. Looks like Neon it's good to know. It's good to know. All right, you guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go start my certain birthday celebration. I'm just I have some soda pop here, but I got something a little stronger waiting for me. So you guys have a good day. I definitely will enjoy my meal and my cake. Neon, I will talk to you later. I would do that. And you guys, thanks a lot.